What's up, YouTube people? Welcome to Jasmine T TV. I am Jasmine T. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe button, and that notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I upload new content. And if you want to keep up with my daily life things and where I am in the world, make sure you follow me on Instagram at JasmineT_TV. Now that we have that out of the way, today's topic, I am going to share how I make money and how I have been able to support a life abroad for the past 4 years. Y'all, I have been thinking about this all week. Like, what is the best way to approach this topic? Because I do not want to sit up here and say, oh, I've had this job, I've had that job, I made this amount of money, and you can do it too. Pay your bills, okay? I don't want to do that because it's so much deeper than that. I really want to get into finding a position for yourself that gives you the freedom, that is going to give you the freedom to live a fulfilling life, to experience life how you want, okay? Which, shout out to Raydell Carmen, okay? She commented on last week's video or the week before last, I can't remember, sorry. But she commented, she said, I just love how you travel to / live in all these different parts of the world and just really experience life. And when I tell you, that's what I want for all of y'all. And when I talk about this freedom, I don't mean like, oh, you got to go live abroad or be somewhere for like an entire year. I'm talking about the freedom to move how you want to move, okay? The freedom, for example, if you're in the States and you say, you know what, I just need to switch it up. I need to change. These people get on my nerves. I need to go off the grid for 2 weeks. I'm going to middle of nowhere, Kansas. If that is your prerogative and that is something that you want to do, I wish you the freedom. I wish that for you to be able to move like that. So that is something that I have made a priority for myself, is to be able to live that type of life. Okay. So I am going to get into the nitty gritty today to share all sorts of details, to really just talk about the progression that I made from, that ignited that initial decision to, switch up everything and move abroad to where I am today. Okay. Now I do got a long way to go. Okay. Before I really move how I want, but nonetheless, there's been growth and I really want to share that with y'all. So, all right, let's start from the beginning. Like I said, I will be sharing a whole bunch of details. This might be a long video. So if you need to get yourself a little something, go ahead. All right. I'll wait. Okay. So, all right, we're starting from the very, very beginning. But before I get into this, I think there's one thing that people should do. Now, I know we're talking about jobs that give you freedom and are fulfilling, and I know people do have bills, okay? Everybody has a set of responsibilities and obligations. I think it's really important to sit and figure out, like, make a list of these responsibilities and figure out, am I really responsible for that? Okay. Is this something I can delegate, or is this an expectation that has been put on me by somebody else, whether it be family, friends, job, or your past self? Okay. Because sometimes our 20-year-old self may expect something of our 30-year-old self. And when we hit 30, we're still trying to complete that, but things change. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to let some stuff go. And that's something that I've actually had to, I guess, like, toil with myself. It's like, these are goals that I have for myself, but I had to really sit and say, like, it's okay to shift this. I got new goals, and that's completely fine. So yeah, really sitting and figuring out if there's anything that's holding you back that really doesn't have to. Okay. So, all right. Now into the beginning, because I will go off on all sorts of tangents, okay? I'm from South Carolina. I went to the University of South Carolina, and there I got my bachelor's in business management and real estate. And I'm just sharing that piece for anybody who's interested in teaching English. You do not have to have a background in education. In some countries, especially in Eastern Europe, you do not even need a 4-year degree, okay? So you might need some other things, so look into that. But I'm just letting you know that not having a 4-year degree does not keep you out of the ESL industry, okay? So back to the storyline. So I, graduated from USC, and I didn't really know where I wanted to go. And I said, well, I kind of want a city vibe, but I don't want to go too far from home right now. I'll just stay a little close to home. And then in 2 years or so, I'll figure out where I want to go. So I ended up in Charlotte, right? Y'all, in a blink of an eye, 4 years had passed. And I had to really look up and just say, okay, that wasn't the plan. What am I doing? Okay, because you are not on track. You have not done what you said that you were going to do. You were supposed to leave Charlotte. You weren't supposed to be here forever. So at that time, I was working in commercial real estate. I was a commercial real estate broker. And commercial real estate, especially in the South, is a predominantly white male industry ran by the Good Old Boy Network. And if you are not familiar with the Good Old Boy Network, it is an informal system in which wealthy men of the same background, status, and education help out each other, aka white folks helping white folks. Okay, if you are new to this channel and never seen a video before, please note that I do not have a problem with white folks. I live in Poland. Okay, but white America is a different beast. Commercial real estate, predominantly white male industry, sprinkle of white females, and just a drop of black folks, right? So whenever I would see like black colleagues, maybe at functions, it wasn't a lot of us, but when we would see each other, we'd always try to encourage each other, like, hey, you all right? Keep it up. You're okay. You're doing great. You know, really just trying to encourage each other. And at that time in Charlotte, I didn't know of another black female commercial real estate broker. So the black colleagues were, you know, it was kind of like they were pushing me saying, you know, you could really be a pioneer. You're like a trailblazer. You could really open up some opportunities for other, you know, for other black women in this region. And, you know, I was with them, but I wasn't with them. You know, it's really hard to explain. Well, not so hard to explain. I felt like it wasn't my fight. Okay. I really felt like it wasn't my fight. And I hit what I call the quarter life crisis because, you know, I was at a crossroads. Is this crossroads or a fork? What's the difference between a crossroads and a fork? Anywho, I hit a fork in the road. This is the crossroads. But anyway, I hit a fork in the road and I saw that the path so clearly to commercial real estate, right? I saw money. I saw growing a book of business. I saw having a respectable career, you know, but I also saw myself just being grounded in Charlotte. And on the other side, I saw this other path that was very unclear, full of question marks, scary, but exciting, okay? Much more exciting than this side, which now I'm actually having some revelations about my dating life, which I might need to talk to my therapist about. But anywho, I basically chose the unknown path, all right? I put in my notice at work. I put in my notice to my apartment. Yeah, I signed up for the CELTA certification in Washington, D.C., and I looked around and I was like, I'm doing it. I'm really, really doing this. And mind you, I'm sharing every little detail. You know, I'm looking around and I look down and I have a dog, right? So I'm sharing this for my pet parents. Some people do take their pets along with them, you know, on their journey, on their new journey. But my sweet Remington, my little rescue dog Remington, had emotional issues and anxiety issues, and he had been returned to the shelter twice. I was like, I can't do that to you. I have to find a place for you. And shout out to my mama. One of the greatest gifts she ever gave me, besides the gift of life, was taking in my Remington. Okay, so he is still kicking. He's happy with his routine. You know, got his little friends at daycare. So I'm so thankful that she took him, because I really do believe that if I could not have found a suitable place for him, and kept him in the family, then I might not have gone. Okay, I probably would have undid all my undoing and stayed in Charlotte. So I'm very, very thankful for that. Thank you, Mama. All right. So yeah, so I went to DC, got my CELTA certification, then started looking at jobs in South Korea. And I chose South Korea. They paid the most for the least amount of experience, okay? Now, please keep in mind that CELTA stands for something like Certificate of English Language Teaching to Adults, okay? But the key word there is adults. I took a job in South Korea teaching 12-year-olds. And mistake number one, because I was so eager/impatient and I was so ready to just jumpstart this new journey, that I just took this job, you know, and even though I was in a completely different scenery, my life had shifted completely. My quality of life did not improve whatsoever. It actually decreased. I was living in a dorm. All right. I had not lived in a dorm since freshman year of college because I moved off campus sophomore year. I was not, I didn't feel free because I didn't have a car, but it wasn't even that. Like, there was public transportation, but we were so secluded that there was a school shuttle that would take us to public transportation. So I was relying on that shuttle. The food, I struggled with the food personally. I gained a lot of weight there. And yeah, it just didn't, and my personality didn't really fit the culture. So the reason I did not quit is because I had quit everything back in Charlotte. I was like, man, I can't quit and then start my new life and then quit. I was just like, okay, I can't do that. But hindsight is 2020. I should have quit. All right. Should have let all that go. Like, no, thank you. But, I stuck it out and I did my year. But while I was there, okay, because to me, teaching English was a stepping stone. I was always constantly working on something else because in my mind, it was like, okay, streams of income. I need to make money because in my mind, money equated freedom. Money equated, a certain quality of life that I wanted. And so I was like, teaching English is a stream of income. My rental property, because I have a rental property in Charlotte, that's a stream of income. Maybe if I grow YouTube, that'll be a stream of income. Okay, so what's another stream of income? Let me just do e-commerce. And so that's where I started working on Sweet Lou Cosmetics, which if you watched videos when I was in Korea, you probably remember me saying that. But if you watch my videos in Poland, I never really talked about it again. And that is because I said, okay, I'm going to set up everything I probably invested close to $5,000, like just trying to get Sweet Lou set up the way I want it. And I said, I'm going to launch it when I got home and when I arrived, like when I got back to South Carolina. And that's what I did. I launched it, had a couple of sales. And then I said, okay, well, let me start going to some beauty expos. And so I went to 2 beauty expos and I realized this is not for me. Yes, I built it. I can keep trying to push it, but it was very apparent that I was not passionate about this product. And I am not going to force myself to do something if that's not what I don't want to do. All right. So I had to go back and home and I told my mama, I said, hey, mama, I know that there's a couple $1,000s worth of makeup sitting upstairs. Sorry about that. I'm going to Poland. And she was just like, okay. So I just shifted everything. So I was really home for 5 months. I got home from Korea, 5 months passed, boom, I was in Poland. I actually found 2 English language schools to teach at. And I ended up just sticking with one because that school allowed me to teach adults. The other school actually put me up with teenagers. And I was like, nah, that ain't what I signed up for. So I was teaching adults right in the center of Warsaw. I felt good. Like I felt better about going to work. I really appreciated the conversations that I had with my students. It was, some classes were actually fun compared to Korea, where I was at an English village, which was like a camp for kids. So there were some classes where I'm just holding up stuffed animals like, kids, this is a giraffe. Can you say giraffe? What sound does a giraffe make, you say? A teacher doesn't know. All right. That was my life, okay, for an entire year. So it felt really, really good to be having some, like real genuine conversations with adults. And so I did that. I want to say for 2 semesters, I was working there, but I was also teaching English online. And my online job paid USD. My job in Warsaw paid zloty. I'm gonna go for the USD. I'm gonna go for the one that has 0 commute. I'm gonna go for the one that doesn't require me to lesson plan. I'm gonna go for the one that doesn't require me to wear pants. Okay. So it really gave me more time, right? And that is another thing that I value, a certain quality of life and my time, right? So even though things were improving, right? I'm now in a better position than I was in South Korea. Things have improved, but it's still not where I want to be. And I was able to let teaching the ESL industry go last year in 2020. And I was able to do that, and I'm so thankful because I just wasn't passionate about it. But I was able to do that. I was looking on LinkedIn and I saw an old colleague. Actually, he was a mentor. He actually gave me my first job. No, my second job. He actually gave me the job that I quit back in Charlotte. And I saw that he started his own company. So, I hit him up and I was like, hey man, I saw you started your own company. Congrats. Do you need help? Okay, just go straight for the ask, like create your own position. And he said, yeah, I do. And I started working with him. And so I started working with him March 2020. And, it felt good because I felt like it was almost like a little do-over, like any lingering questions that I had about, man, what if I would have stayed in commercial real estate, right? Because those questions are going to come when you shift everything. You're going to have some moments like, was I supposed to do that? So of course I had those types of questions. And so it put me back in the industry in Charlotte. And even though I didn't have my own clients, which I was completely fine with because I'm kind of antisocial and I don't really like dealing with people. So it was perfect. I'm dealing with contracts, with leases, everything that I'm familiar with, and I'm good at it, right? So the thing this time is that, but my goal has always been to have something that's mine. So in this role, I felt like a secretary. I was basically, even though my title was like associate broker or assistant broker or whatever, I was like, this isn't what I'm helping build, isn't mine. Okay. So I always knew, like, hey man, like this, I always knew that wasn't going to be a permanent gig for me. It was just at that point income, and I enjoyed it more than teaching English. But I've always been thinking about, okay, what's going to be my position? What's going to be my thing, because that's always been in my mind. And so now at this point, I have prioritized my time. I haven't prioritized my quality of life. And now I'm prioritizing, which I probably should have been doing this, but I'm prioritizing my health, my stress level, because you guys, I have not always eaten the best. I am a worrier. I'm a very worrisome person, and it was starting to affect my health. So like a week and a half ago, I sent a text. I said, hey, I sent a text with my job and I said, hey man, we got to have a talk. Let's set up a call, and I said, I'm going to need a temporary or permanent break. I don't know which one yet, but I'm taking the month of October for myself. And because, we go way back, he's like, I understand, because that job was the most stressful thing in my life. And I no longer have room for that. I no longer have room for things that do not serve me. And I need to take care of myself. So I am also now gluten-free, lactose-free, dairy-free, taste-free. And all, but I'm also trying to be stress-free. Okay. So I'm just trying to take care of everything that I have going on. And you might be saying, well, Jasmine, I understand that freedom's important, but money's important too. It is. All right. You will never ever hear me say, oh, money's disgusting. No, I love that shit. Okay. Like how are you earning money? Right. So in June, I started my own company and I am actually wholesaling mobile homes remotely. It is something I never thought I'd be in, but it has been very, very fun. And I'm halfway towards my end of year goal. And I made enough to be able to quit my job. I was actually able to say, this does not serve me and I can do something about it. Okay. So that's why I was able to let that job go. If I didn't have the income that I have from my company, I wouldn't be able to do that. So yeah, that's where I am now, y'all. Like I am now in a position, I feel good. Like I wake up, I'm buying like fresh flowers for the apartment. Like I'm really in control of my day outside of God's hands. Okay. Like I really can control if I want to take that phone call. I could control if I want to write that email. I could control, how little or how much I work. I could control if I really want to smile at this person or not. I might not feel like being bothered, So I'm also quite, like I said, I can be an antisocial person. So if I really just want to keep to myself, that's completely fine. And working from home really, really does suit me. So yeah, this is how I support myself. These are the things that that I prioritize in my position. It's just freedom, okay? Like really and truly just freedom. Never being afraid to make that change, never being afraid to ask for what it is that you want. Um, like I with this company, I'm truly betting on myself. So bet on yourself and see what comes from that. Okay. So yeah, that's really, I guess, like all the advice. I won't say all the advice, but that's really what I wanted to share about my journey so far. This is where I am in my journey. Like I said, I have a long way to go, but I feel good about where I am now. Yeah, if you guys have any questions and want to talk about, your journey and what, and I guess the next move for you, if you're at a fork in the road or whatever, feel free to book a consultation with me. You can go to jasminetv.com. I'll put the link in the description box. And yeah, any comments, questions, also, drop those in the comment section. But, for more in-depth things, please book a consultation. All right. I'll try to answer what I can in the description box. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was helpful to somebody. All right. Don't forget, like I said, to follow me on Instagram at JasmineT_TV. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.